Again, the danger to Calzaghe here is that he gets caught with a counter. So what does he do? He throws 105 punches in the 10th round, making it clear that he doesn't care about the danger.
Come on, guys, you gotta do better.
That's commendable. What I don't understand is why he continues to leave his hands down in front of Roy, because you can throw those punches and keep your guard up.
Believe it or not, that's just part of his style. You see him even training punch on the pads. He does it even on the pads, Babs. That's just his style. And he's very comfortable doing that. And he feels he has enough control over this fight now.
In other words, if there's any fighter of the last 10 years who's as cocky and super confident as Roy Jones, it's Joe Calzaghe.
Yeah.
And yet it gives Roy chances.
Yes, it does. But
maybe that's what Joe thinks is the right thing to do. Maybe he is, in his way, showing respect for Jones's great reputation and record by saying to him, all right, look, I'm not going to back off. I'll fight in such a way that you've still got an opportunity here. And I'll beat you anyway.
Very sporting of him, Jim.
Don't hold, let go.
Well, he is Welsh. I think he's also, frankly, slowed Jones down to the point where basically he sees it coming.
Yep.
Yeah, he feels he has enough control over himself. He was doing this when Roy was real sharp in the beginning. So now, but with Roy fighting virtually without a one eye, he feels probably extremely comfortable.
Also, given that Roy at his best was the best fighter to fight in the weight class in which Calzaghe accomplished the most, super middleweight, Calzaghe's taking some pleasure in beating Roy Jones as Roy Jones would beat a fighter. He's out Roy Jonesing Jones.
And Jones is now talking full time. Impossible to tell what he's saying, but he's talking to Calzaghe the whole time. Probably something to the effect of, you can't knock me out. Probably something about making it to the finish line.
Well, there's enough blood for this to be the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, and maybe Roy is pulling a bit of a Jake LaMotta here.
A reference to LaMotta versus Sugar Ray Robinson, and the line was, you never knocked me out, Ray. You never knocked me out.
Break!
What a closing act for Joe Calzaghe. If this holds up and he in fact walks away, these pictures will be a part of ring history for years to come.
And he's had a phenomenal career. If he ends up doing what he's doing and beat two of our legendary greatest fighters here in America at the two biggest arenas, Las Vegas, New York, never lost a fight. Phenomenal record.
To beat Jones with Hopkins sitting at ringside, after having beaten Hopkins with Jones sitting at ringside, not a bad way to close it out.
And beat two undefeated good fighters in Jeff Lacey and Mikhail Kessler.
Right down the other one. Open cut out. Hold up, Doc. Open it right from the inside. Open the lid up right from the inside. Open it right inside. Okay. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Get it in there and let me hold some pressure, Doc.
And attack with the A's first. Bam, bam, the A's, right? You with me now? Yeah. You're in me with me. Get a jab, dominating. A jab, left hook the body. Jab, jab, wow, left hook. Jab, jab, left hook the body. Yeah, tonight. Right, you pissed it. Winning. Winning. But you make sure you win now. You make sure. 21 man in it.
12 years ago in 1996, Roy Jones knocked out Eric Luca in the 12th round. It was the only 12th round KO of his career. Calzaghe's never had an 11th or a 12th round KO. The crowd rises to its feet to acknowledge the drama of what they've seen in Madison Square Garden tonight. Referee Hubert Earl has a shirt soaked with blood. Calzaghe and Jones still have respect for one another. Two guys who agreed via cell phone text messages to fight each other with a 50-50 split. Not about the money, about the pride.
Roy knows the only shot he has to win here is to land a home run punch. He seems to be measuring Calzaghe to try at least one before the end of this round.
You know, you couldn't really blame Calzaghe if he just stayed away and ticked off the clock, so to say, this last round. Because, I mean, he's got everything to lose and nothing to gain. In fact, Roy is moving in, but he's got to let some punches go. He's just getting in position, caution, but he won't let the punches go. He's got nothing to lose. And whatever he throws, he should talk with full power with either hand, but he's not punching.
This is not one of those unpredictable scoring panels of which we've seen a few in New York in recent years. This is Jerry Roth from Las Vegas, one of the most respected veteran judges in the game. Julie Letterman from here in New York, who is a top-flight judge and a real expert. And Terry O'Connor of Wales is from Wales. So you don't expect Calzaghe to get upended by anything utterly unpredictable at the end of this one.
No, Roy's going to have to do the upending if he hopes to win. So far, maybe he's throwing that's maybe his second punch of the round.
And Calzaghe's walking in with his hands down and giving Roy every chance to land something big, but still dominating the action. Crowd wants Jones to try to do something. They should be thrilled that he's shown such courage as to finish the fight with that kind of blood on his face.
He's got a lot of respect from a lot of fans tonight based on his performance, even though he's losing the fight. I think it's really did nothing but enhance his respect from the fans still.
Yeah, but what would enhance it even more, I think, is if in this last 45 seconds, he at least gave the impression that he was going all out to win.
Yeah, and maybe Calzaghe shouldn't showboat quite so much. Maybe Calzaghe should pay a little bit more respect than to take advantage of this to really try to embarrass Jones down the stretch. Just fight, Jones. You've made your point. Good body shots by both men. Jones takes one last home run swing, and Calzaghe drives him back with a couple of blows. Crowd rises for what might be the last time in the ring for both men. Just could be farewell. And if the scores are what we anticipate them to be, based on what you see there from Harold Letterman, then Calzaghe's win over Jones will be in some ways a carbon copy of his win over Hopkins. Down in the first round, loses the first couple, and then swamps the opponent with greater activity.
Unbelievable ability to recuperate from knockdowns and come back and win fights.
Julie Letterman, good dossier of credible decisions in the past. Had Jones over Trinidad, 117-109. Very solid, predictable judge. Terry O'Connor from England, not from Wales. 11 title fights, none noteworthy enough for us to list them here. And Jerry Roth, as experienced as anybody with 142 title fights in his background. Had Marquez, the leader over Pacquiao in their second fight, a fight barely won by Manny Pacquiao. So Harold Letterman gave the last 10 rounds of the fight to Calzaghe. It seems possible that a judge may have found one or two in there to give to Jones, but it's also possible that judges could have given the second round to Calzaghe. Other than that, it seems pretty cut and dried. And let's see if Calzaghe has made it to 46-0 as Michael Buffer reads the scores.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Madison Square Garden, New York City, we go to the scorecards. All three judges, Jerry Roth, Terry O'Connor, and Julie Letterman, score the bout 118-109. To the winner by unanimous decision, the fighting pride of Newbridge, Wales, still light heavyweight champion of the world, Calzaghe.
It turns out all three official judges gave the second round to Calzaghe, and therefore he wins the fight with an 11-round win streak after going down in the first. And from about the third or fourth round on, it had an air of inevitability. Why? Because Joe Calzaghe simply throws and lands so many more punches. Throwing 985 punches, more than anybody has ever unleashed against Jones in 32 fights, counted by CompuBox. Landing 344 punches, more than 100 punches more than anyone has ever landed against Roy Jones in a fight counted by CompuBox. Ultimately landing at a 35% connect percentage. Dominating the jab category, this has never been a big priority for Jones to try to land many jabs during the fight. It's always been purely a tactical weapon for him, and Calzaghe peppered him with the jab throughout. That's what helped to weaken the left eye and create the cut. And ultimately besting him in the power punch category too, by throwing nearly 300 more power punches. So the Pride of Wales gets to 46 wins, no losses, and claims he'll stop there.